Good morning, welcome to the Bolshevik News. Guys, 4 of our magnetometers are now all set ready to go out. One will be going to Virginia tomorrow morning, it'll be leaving, and the other 3 we still need locations. The biggest problem we've got is the one that we need to get in China, either North China, close to that border in the Northern Territory, or south of Russia, very close to that southern border. 2 of these will be going over to Australia, 2 in America, one's going out to, not Virginia, Kentucky tomorrow. We're still looking for one to be housed in or around about the region of Los Angeles. And yeah, so they're all working independently on their own boards, as you can see. It doesn't seem to really pick up, this camera does. Yeah, there you go, you can see the green light flashing on that. There we go. So they're all working, they're all ready to go out. We've got the lights reversed on this one, but it doesn't make any difference. It just gives us a green light for running and a red light for collecting data. These are very much prototypes, guys. You know, they've been put together in a bit of a rush. They do the job exactly what we want them to do. They're going to be monitoring the high intensity regions over Canada, Russia and also Australia. We've got more project boxes that have come in. We're waiting for a few more components because we're going to build obviously more of these, but they are in all their entirety just the Mark 1 version. Like I say, they are prototypes. They're all running and collecting data onto SD cards, and you know, there is another way of doing things other than collecting it onto data SD cards like this, and that is using a chip like this. And what this will do is, instead of in the program we write the program to record onto the SD card, we write the program to send the information to this chip. And what this will do is communicate with the router in people's homes, so there'll be no calibration at all. There'll be one of these chips, a GPS chip, which will give us the location of the device, and this information then will be sent directly up to a website and charted. You know, the technology exists for this. It just means that there's a longer program to write for it, and then, you know, we will be in the territory of a Mark II version. And the other thing about doing it that way is it should bring the cost down dramatically of the magnetometers, and that in turn enables us to get more magnetometers out. I've been talking with an electronic engineer and a designer of electronics about this, and in a later video I'm going to bring him on, and you know, we'll have a discussion about it, and you get to, you know, be like a fly on a wall with regards to how we're going to approach the next problem of developing these magnetometers, you know, to be a little bit more user friendly. What we're trying to do is eliminate, you know, any human error with these. At the moment there is a certain amount of human error. I mean, we don't know when these do get to the locations, other than what I can see on Skype, whether they're going to be the best environment for them. I mean, at the end of the day, we was talking about this with the engineer. You know, if someone puts these by the front door and there's a key tray there, and all of a sudden, you know, the keys go in the door as they come home from work every evening, and you know, it gives a false reading. Well, we can build into the program of the Mark II versions, you know, like a warning system that detects like an abnormal increase in activity. Not only that, when we're logging the data over a period of time, we'll be able to see, you know, if, you know, someone is coming home and, you know, they've put the magnetometer by the front door, right by the key, right by where their, you know, their house keys go, we'll see that this is happening on a frequent occasion, and you know, it can flag up in the program that, you know, there's a problem that's occurring every day at a certain time. So this is just some of the things, you know, you have to think of in advance before you start developing, you know, something a little bit more serious. But like I say, guys, you know, these were built to collect data, rapid, and that's exactly what they're going to do. You know, I think it's taken us about 2 months, hasn't it, to, you know, not only raise the money to build these, but to actually, you know, design it and build it very quickly in order for us to get some data. And, you know, using the internet, Skype and the SD cards, we can do that for now. But I definitely think, you know, something better in terms of all what you see here can be done, and there's no reason why we shouldn't do that. And like I say, if we can bring the price down of manufacturing these, what we was talking about is actually getting, you know, the electronic boards made, and, you know, just fixing the components that we need onto the boards ourselves. You know, it save time in building them. There's a lot less soldering involved, and, you know, like I say, the cost comes down. It makes it more accessible for more of these magnetometers to go out there. And of course, if we can eradicate some of the human errors that might occur, even better. But what we're thinking about on terms of the internet, at least, is having something where you can go onto the website, you can see a map of the globe, and then you can select like the flag of where one of the magnetometers is and pull up that data on its own, or you can go onto another page of the website and you can see all of the magnetometers, and it's just a case of selection of which one you're interested in. But there'll be like you know, a compiled chart of all the data that we're collecting in general, and you know, there'll be like well, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my god! You know, a conclusion as to, you know, what it is that's taking place with regards to these high intensity regions around the world. You know, time, guys, is around about between 5 to 10 years maximum with regards to some dramatic changes taking place on our Earth right now. And that is based on what is taking place right now over Canada with that dissipating high intensity region. I anticipate what will happen within the next 5 years is there will be a continued deterioration of that magnetic field strength over Canada, and as a result we're going to start to see some dramatic changes with regards to the position of where these sensors all point to on the TriMag, and as a, in turn, you know, we're going to start to see shifts maybe in the magnetosphere strength, and definitely we're going to see that information that we collect off these devices showing us that there is a weakening over Canada with regards to that high intensity region, an increase over Siberia region in field strength, and where our sensors point in between these two poles, we're going to start to see some dramatic shifts in where our sensors point and our compass needles point right now. Now, if you've been following us, you know that we're very close to that 40-degree mark. And for those of you that don't know what that 40-degree mark probably means, it means that there is a strong chance that we will be entering the weak field lines from that point on. And this anomaly that's taking place over Canada with the shrinkage of that high intensity region could trigger a faster reaction with regards to the poles moving from the strong field lines into the weak field lines. If that's the case, we're going to start to see probably the beginnings of the reversal. It could happen quick, it could happen over weeks, it could happen over months. I doubt the reversal will happen over years from that point on. But what we could start to see is many poles forming all over the world, and as a result of those we will have a weakened magnetosphere, and, you know, from that point on we are going to see some very dramatic changes with our weather systems, and we're already seeing that already, guys. So, you know, just a thing to put out there. Now, although our prime objective is to just monitor what is taking place with regards to the magnetic poles and their positions and the weakening of the magnetosphere, we do other things on this channel over at PoleShift News. I mean, we've got the TriMag data, as you already know. If you've been following us, you can see this you know, compilation of all the charts going back to when we first started around about 18 months to 2 years ago. You know, recently we've been doing the same with the magnetosphere, you know, covering that data now. It must be going back a good 8 months. But we've also got the Learning Centre on the website, and we've got all these other topics here that you can see, like live solar data, live cosmic rays, live volcanic maps, earthquakes, sea ice extent maps, global warming weather maps, you know, space weather, real-time tracking, and you name it, guys. You know, even right down to, you know, the Schumann frequency. So what I've tried to do is although our primary objection is just to cover science in general and those things which closely relate to ourselves and which could possibly affect us right now, but we also do other things on this channel. I wanted to show you in a little bit what NASA's actually doing at their forefront of their research at the moment with regards to lasers. Now we've got a project coming up later on this year. Just as soon as these magnetometers are out and they're collecting the data, we'll be moving over to finishing off that cloud generator, because it's important, because it's on the topic of what we're discussing with regards to those cosmic rays. So the cloud chamber is designed to show you guys visually what happens when a cosmic particle comes through alcohol vapor at sub-zero temperatures. With regards to that and where we are on that project, we're just waiting now for some radiators to come to run the water blocks, because if you remember a few months ago we was doing some testing with regards to air cooling the Peltier elements. It just wasn't that efficient, even though we was getting temperatures. I think the best we managed to get was -40 something, but when it come to the region on the top of the Peltier, it only give us something like 4 square centimeters of viewing platform. Well, the way we've changed things now is we've got probably 8 to 12 square centimeters of viewing platform, which gives us more, obviously a bigger platform gives us an ability to see more of these cosmic particles flying through there. And the other thing is we want to see if they're increasing, and if we start to see lots more activity with regards to cosmic particles, then we know that these things are confirmed on the increase at surface level. So although we already know this, guys, we already know that cosmic particles are on the increase. There is some small projects out there which are doing balloon flights using weather balloons to take up recording equipment to record the increase in cosmic particles. You've probably seen these taking place. A couple of schools have took it upon themselves to do this project. And what better time to monitor cosmic particles at a grand solar minimum. But the other thing we concentrate on as well, guys, and we are very much going to start taking on NASA with their their research and their forefront of what they're doing. We can quite easily jump on that with them. Although they've got these massive budgets, it doesn't make any difference if you've got the ability to understand what the concepts are, and you've got a good mind as to how to approach the problems that even they face. Then you've got a equal opportunity to deliver something that they've not even thought of probably, or not even got to the point of developing yet. What am I talking about? NASA. Let me show you what NASA's up to with regards to one of these technologies, and you'll get the idea of what we're talking about. So as you can see, they're developing the application of high-powered lasers to space power and propulsion techniques. And it's interesting that they're using CO2 laser technology. I think it's because with regards to the development of high-power lasers, CO2 lasers probably are the powerfulest ones at the moment. I mean, just to give you for instance, the project that we're talking about undertaking a little bit later on towards the end of this year with regards to transmitting audible and video out into space, we're going to be using probably a 100-watt laser, CO2 laser tube, and that is used today to cut steel, plastic, wood in production. And that's about probably the most powerfulest lasers that you can get. But what NASA want to do with it is use it to power satellites and things like that. So they're talking about targeting a very small area on the spacecraft where they can then convert that laser light into usable energy and then into a form of propulsion. They've got some things on the back burner. This article talks about some of the approaches to how they're going to do that, but you can see by using methods of transmitting and receiving the laser that they can convert it into power and then into propulsion. And this is just some of the tests that NASA have done on this application so far. And like I say, you know, it's nothing that we can't get involved with here. You know, we're using lasers. The laser that we're proposing to use, like I say, is going to be a 100-watt laser. It's very much capable of cutting, you know, steel up to about 2 mil thick, or probably even thicker, plastic even thicker, wood even thicker, you know. But the point is the whole idea behind the laser is that it'll punch a little hole, tiny little hole into our atmosphere and send that message out deep into space. And, you know, we've got to use what, you know, we have available at this time. And I think, you know, with regards to costs involved and what we have at this level, a 100-watt laser, CO2 laser, will be the, you know, the thing that will do that. But something else we can use that laser for is, you know, propulsion and transmitting of energy. And, you know, we have looked at energy alternative sources on this channel. Any time there has been somebody come out with something new, like, you know, V-gate magnetic motors and things like that, I've always built them. And, you know, as you know, guys, we haven't found anything yet which is, you know, really going to deliver an economical way of producing electricity. You know, the basic ones out there at the moment are solar panels. One that I do like is the electrolysis of water, you know, capturing the ions. It's like a water battery. That's good, but no more development seems to have been done with that. And likewise, no more development seems to have come to the forefront of solar panels. Other than that, I do believe, you know, that if we work together, every country on this planet, we could resolve the energy issue simply with some of the methods that we've got to hand at the moment, such as solar panels. I know what the biggest problem is with solar panels is that if you're running a small system yourself, you've only got certain hours of daylight to capture the energy, and for the night time you have to rely on batteries. And, you know, as well as I do, guys, batteries are expensive and they're inefficient at storing power. But if we was to work with other countries on the problem, there is no reason why we could not have solar panels on one side of this earth that's in daylight, sending the power over to the other side of the world that requires it. And then, you know, as light, you know, becomes stronger and stronger at different points over the earth, we could transmit that energy from that point, so that there wouldn't be anyone without electricity being generated from the sun. The only other way of doing this would be to collect the power out in space in a low orbit or a high orbit platform, and then transmit that power back down. And this is what NASA are trying to come up with. They're trying to come up with a reliable way of transmitting power back to either Earth or from Earth back out into space to run, you know, equipment. I will show you a quick video before we end it here of even methods of propulsion that they've looked at, where they actually, you know, with high-powered lasers, a lot more high-powered lasers than the ones that we'll be using for the transmitting the information out into space, but they use a real high-powered laser, and, you know, it generates lift through, you know, exciting the air around the bottom layer of this little tiny craft that they've built. I'll just show you that, guys. So in this video you can see that they've got a high powered laser. There's a countdown going on. I know you can't hear it at the moment because I've got the sound turned off, but they're just about to fire the laser, which is going to lift this little craft. Now, to stabilise the craft, what they've got is a compressed air nozzle pointing at some vanes on the top of this craft, and what they're going to do is they're going to blast air in there in order to get it to rotate at high speed, and that will stabilise it when they fire the laser underneath it. What you just looked at was the crane, and on top of the crane there's a platform, and the reason why they've put the platform there is because you can see this is a very high powered laser, and what they don't want to do is damage satellites out into space by firing this laser on the ground. But you're about to see laser light, you know, create propulsion with this little vehicle that they've built. Okay, So they're getting ready. He's there ready to catch it when it falls back down. He's now put the air onto it to get it rotating at a speed to stabilise its vertical lift, and you'll start to see it firing. There you go, and the craft lifts off the ground with nothing more than a high powered laser hitting the bottom of the disc, and there is flight. So it's pretty amazing, I mean, what is lifting that vehicle right now is nothing more than high powered concentrated photons, and that's what comes out of lasers. And we get low power concentration photons emitted from the sun in the form of light, and all these lasers, even the cheap ones that you buy, are photon emitters. But when you concentrate them, you can do a lot more in terms of achieving some results, like cutting steel, for instance, or in this case lifting a vehicle. And it just shows you what they're trying to do. So guys, it was like I said the other day, you never know what can come out of what we are engaged in doing over at the observatory. I've got a very keen passion for science, and I think we can go a lot further than what we have done already, and there's no reason why the little guy like ourselves can't get involved in these exotic programs like what NASA's doing right now, albeit on a small budget. If you've got people that can do it and work for NASA, then there's no reason why other people with the same skill sets can't do it outside of NASA on a lot lower budget. And some of them guys that you see playing with these things probably are on close on £100,000 a year. And when you've got like 10 people working on a project like that over a year, the cost can spiral without actually building things, just having the key people. It can spiral into millions of pounds. In this observatory, there's pretty much one guy who's got a good source of other people where I can tap the information, but generally I can bring that information back and build these things, such as the magnetometers, the TriMag system, and the magnetosphere sensor. And coming up, we've got the cloud generator that's being built, so you get to see cosmic particles increase or decrease, whichever is the case. And then there is the laser project, and there's other things that can come from that. But we also look at other alternative ways of generating electricity. We have a passion that one day someone will figure out 0 point, and at that point we can share it with the rest of the world, because I don't know who wouldn't benefit from being able to produce electricity at 1,000th of the cost that we actually generate it at this point in time. Because if you're like me, you cringe at the ever increasing energy bills around the home, the ever increasing food costs. We need to look at these things because at the end of the day they are consuming the majority of our time. We have to get up every morning, go to work, earn some money in order just to participate in this really terrible system that we've built. When you think about it, no other species is involved in this system. When they need food, the birds fly from one tree to the next. They know where to get their food. It's all free. They don't have to pay mortgages, rent. They build a nest in whatever tree they want, and it's pretty much the same for every other species other than our own. So when I was growing up, I was under the impression that by the time I got to this age, no one would have to work. But it seems now the reality is that people have to work a lot more than what they had to 40 years ago or 20 years ago. So I think something else needs to be done in order to free us. Our times that we spend trying to just participate in a system and get those simple amenities that we all need on a weekly basis. Other than that, we have concentrated on this website on covering pretty much every major anomaly that you could ever even dream to be worried about. And the main anomaly that everyone should be aware of right now is the fact that the poles are migrating and causing the majority of the problems with the climate as a result of that. And we're doing our best to cover it. So guys, if we can continue to raise the money which we are on the channel and increase that amount, then we can do a lot more with regards to, you know, some of these more exotic projects. And I'm pretty sure that the following that we've got, there is an interest in energy, there is an interest in the poles and the natural anomalies like earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, all those things. You know, and you know, we can continue to bring that information to those people that have an interest in it and grow the subscriber base on YouTube, and of course keep the traffic flowing on the website. You know, on average we have around about 8,000 views on the website, and on average I think 3,000 views every single day now on YouTube. So, you know, we are getting the message out there to people. But I hope that there is a following of people that are interested in the activities in which we get involved in as well, such as this recent project with the magnetometers. So, a quick plug then, guys, for the channel and the observatory. I think we stand at around 154 people that have supported us on Patreon. Great big thanks to you guys out there. Big thanks to those people that have supported us on the PayPal as well. But at the end of the day, guys, we have got now 21,000 plus subscribers on YouTube, and yet there is still a very, very small proportion supporting us. And it's as simple as this, guys. You know, for $1 you can support what we do on this channel, and I'm sure that what we put up on the website alone and what we cover with regards to the magnetic poles alone is worth at least $1 to you guys. And if, you know, Patreon is not your cup of tea, then there is the PayPal link as well. You know, if you keep supporting us, then we can you know, continue doing what we're doing, and you know, we can go a lot further than that. You know, this is the first year that we monetized the channel with regards to putting some adverts on there. It doesn't raise a lot of revenue, about £80 a month if that, or $80 if that. I mean, the amount that we raise on the videos is very small, and you know, but you know, every little bit helps. And you know, if we get a bit of support on PayPal every week, a little bit of support with Patreon, we can put all that together and we can do a lot more than what we have done in the last 7 years of not monetizing and, you know, not advertising. So, you know, I just hope that, you know, people do realise that, you know, it's unfortunate that we all live in a money-driven world, and in order to do anything, literally everything, and you guys know this, you know, it requires some funding. So, you know, I'm really grateful for the funding that we've had at the moment, and you know, if I can encourage a few more of you to come over to Patreon, you know, $1 don't buy nothing these days, guys, but I'm sure you can get more than $1's worth back out, and you know, you can also support us on PayPal as well. And I'll say nothing more, but enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll catch up with you in a week, guys. Have a great time, and as always, bye for now.